Chosen ones, this message you are about to hear is a divine revelation from the throne of heaven. If you are here today, it is not an accident. God Himself led you here. You didn't just stumble across this message. You didn't just click a video or scroll and stop. Heaven orchestrated this exact moment because your spirit has been crying out for answers your mind could not find. God has been listening to the words you prayed out loud and the sighs you released in silence. He saw you lying awake at night, staring into the dark, whispering, "Lord, why did you let this happen?" You prayed for it. You fought for it. You believed for it with everything you had. And yet, instead of opening the door, God blocked it. Instead of letting you keep it, He took it away. To your heart, it felt like loss. To your mind, it felt like rejection. But in heaven's eyes, it was protection. What you thought was a cruel no was actually a merciful not yet, or in some cases a divine never, because God knew what you could not see. Today I am here to tell you exactly why. God says, you didn't lose because you were weak. I removed it because you couldn't handle what you were asking for, and because I have something better prepared. This is not about punishment. This is about preparation. There are blessings that require more strength than you have right now, opportunities that would have crushed you if they arrived too soon, and relationships that would have broken you if they stayed too long. This message is going to remove your confusion, heal your disappointment, and ignite your faith for the season ahead. You will see that every loss was a strategic act of love. You will understand that heaven's refusal was not to leave you empty, but to position you for overflow. And before this word is over, you will be able to lift your hands even in the middle of your waiting and say, "Lord, I trust you, because if you took it, you have something greater on the way." Before we go any further, if this message is stirring something deep within you, take a moment to like this video. If you felt God drawing you closer in this season, hit subscribe and stay connected. And don't stay silent. Drop your city and your local time in the comments. Let's watch the remnant rise from every corner of the earth. To every faithful giver using the link pinned in the comment section or super thanks feature, your offering is more than generosity. It's spiritual agreement. You're not just sowing money, you're sowing surrender. You're saying, "God, I align with your will." And because of that, expect the covering of heaven, supernatural clarity, and the strength to walk boldly through whatever comes next. Let's go deeper. Let's start by dismantling a lie. When God says no, it doesn't mean He has rejected you. Humans reject based on preference. God redirects based on destiny. His no is never rooted in spite, but in love that sees further than your eyes can reach. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8 to 9 tells us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts." This is a divine reminder that God's perspective is infinite. He sees the end from the beginning, the trap before the temptation, the storm before the sunshine. When He says no, it is because there is something on the road ahead that your human eyes cannot detect, but His eternal vision cannot miss. A picture you can't forget. Imagine a small child in the kitchen. He sees a shiny knife on the counter and reaches for it with excitement. In his little mind, the shine means treasure, the glitter means joy. But before his fingers can touch it, the parent's voice thunders, "No." The child freezes, then cries, convinced that the parent is cruel or unfair. But the parent knows something the child cannot grasp. That blade will cut deep, leaving scars that could last a lifetime. That is how God operates with us. We see the sparkle, but He sees the sharp edge. We see the short-term pleasure, but He sees the long-term pain. Think about it. Maybe you saw something shiny in your own life. a relationship that seemed perfect, a job that looked promising, an opportunity that felt like destiny. You reached for it with both hands, ready to embrace it. But God, in His wisdom, stepped in and closed the door. It didn't make sense then. It might have even hurt deeply. But that no was not punishment. It was protection. He loved you too much to let you walk into a place that would cut you open and leave you bleeding. He knows the kind of wounds you're not built to carry, and He shields you even when you don't realize you're in danger. So the next time God says no, remember this truth. You are not being denied, you are being defended. Every closed door is a shield in disguise. Every blocked path is a divine detour towards something better. Every no is actually a louder yes to your destiny, yes to your safety, yes to your purpose, yes to a future free from harm that could have destroyed you. Trust Him enough to believe that His no is not the end of your story. It is simply the removal of the knife so your hands are free to hold the crown He is preparing for you. Here's the problem. Closed doors often feel like failure. They sting like rejection, and to the human heart, they can feel like a slap in the face. We start wondering what we did wrong, or if we somehow missed our moment. But in God's kingdom, a closed door is never the end. It's a divine detour toward the right destination. What feels like delay is often just God making sure you arrive at the exact place, in the exact time He designed for you. Sometimes His no is the bridge to a bigger yes you couldn't have reached any other way. Consider David's story in 1 Samuel chapter 16. The prophet Samuel arrives at Jesse's house to anoint Israel's next king. One by one, Jesse's older sons pass before him, strong, impressive, and outwardly fit for the throne. Yet each time God whispers the same words, "I have rejected him." It wasn't that they were bad men, they simply weren't the chosen ones. The true king, David, wasn't even in the room. He was out in the fields, tending sheep, far from the spotlight and unnoticed by everyone except God. If Samuel had insisted on anointing one of the brothers, Israel would have had a king, but not the king God had prepared. This is where many of us get stuck. We cry over a closed door because we think we've lost our only opportunity, when in reality, God shut it because the real blessing hasn't even walked into the room yet. He's not withholding to hurt you, He's withholding to position you. You may feel like you're in the fields, unseen and overlooked, but God is setting the stage for your arrival. When the moment is right, the door that opens will not just be a door, it will be the door, and nothing and no one will be able to close it.
Let me make this clear. Sometimes the problem is not the size of the blessing, it's the strength of the vessel that must carry it. God's delay is not a denial, it's a preparation. In John chapter 16 verse 12, Jesus tells His disciples, "I have much more to say to you, more than you can now bear." Notice, He didn't say they would never be able to bear it, only that right now it would be too much. That's how God works. There are blessings, responsibilities, and callings so weighty that if they landed on you prematurely, they would crush you instead of lift you. Think about it. Certain promotions, relationships, or opportunities require a spiritual backbone strong enough to handle pressure, criticism, and responsibility. If God gave you the platform before building your character, you'd buckle under the weight. If He gave you the influence before shaping your humility, pride could take you down faster than the blessing could lift you up. His timing is not just about the event being ready, it's about you being ready to steward it well. The crown analogy paints this perfectly. If you put a heavy crown on someone's head before their neck muscles are trained, the weight will cause injury. The crown isn't bad, the head isn't unworthy. The problem is readiness. God will never place the weight of His glory on you until your structure, your faith, integrity,
discipline, and humility can hold it without collapse. The delay is mercy disguised as waiting. So when God says you can't handle it, He's not shaming you, and He's not locking the blessing away forever. He's saying, I am training you so you can wear this without losing it. The waiting season is not wasted time, it's strength training for the destiny you've been praying for. One day, when the muscles of your character are ready, that crown will fit perfectly, and you'll wear it without it breaking you. This is a spiritual law. When God takes, He multiplies in the return. His taking is never without purpose, and His timing is never without wisdom. What He removes is often something you've outgrown, something that can no longer serve your future, or something that would hinder your destiny if it stayed. To the human heart, loss feels like the end, but in God's kingdom, loss is simply the clearing of space for an even greater blessing. He does not subtract to diminish you, He subtracts to make room for abundance. Look at Job. He lost everything: his family, his health, his wealth, his reputation. People mocked him, assuming God had abandoned him, and friends whispered that his story was over. But Job chapter 42 verse 10 declares, "The Lord restored his fortunes and gave him twice as much as he had before." Not the same amount, not less, twice as much. This is God's pattern. He does not just restore, He over-restores. What the enemy tries to destroy, God returns with increase, turning your place of pain into a testimony of His power. So if something has left your life, whether it was taken suddenly or slipped away slowly, be assured of this: God's replacement will always be greater than what you lost. It may not come in the same form, and it may not arrive when you expect it, but it will be richer, deeper, and more aligned with His purpose for you. Your loss is not the end of your story. It is the soil where God will plant the seed of your double portion. Hold on, because what is coming will make you forget the pain of what left. The waiting period is the most dangerous place for your faith. It's where the enemy works overtime to plant doubt in your heart, whispering, God forgot you. He's blessing everyone but you. Your turn will never come. If you listen to those lies, impatience and disappointment will begin to erode your trust in God's timing. But here's the truth. The waiting room is not a punishment, it's a place of preparation. It is where God refines your character, strengthens your endurance, and aligns you with the weight of the blessing He's about to release. There are 3 survival keys for the waiting season. First, fix your eyes on God, not the gift. If your joy is tied only to the blessing, it will crumble the moment that blessing is delayed. Anchor your joy in God Himself, in His presence, His promises, and His unchanging nature. Second, let the delay train you. David killed lions and bears before he faced Goliath. Those earlier battles were not distractions. They were preparation for the giant-slaying moment ahead. Your current struggles are shaping you into someone who can handle the very thing you've been praying for. Finally, speak into your tomorrow. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 reminds us that life and death are in the power of the tongue. The words you speak in the waiting will either build your future or sabotage it. Don't curse your destiny with fear or negativity. Instead, declare in faith, God is preparing something greater for me than I can imagine. When you choose worship over worry, training over complaining, and declarations over doubt, you will leave the waiting room stronger, wiser, and ready for what God has been preparing all along. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 11 says, He has made everything beautiful in its time. Notice, it does not say in your time or in my time, but in its time. God's timing operates on a divine calendar, not a human clock. We measure moments by minutes and hours, but God measures them by readiness and purpose. What feels late to you is often right on schedule in the kingdom. His timing is not random, it is strategic, designed to align every detail for the greatest impact on your life and the lives you will touch. When the right time comes, God's blessing will not show up half-baked or incomplete. It will arrive fully formed, mature, and unshakable. You won't have to push, manipulate, or beg to make it happen. It will flow into place as naturally as a key sliding into the right lock. Just like a fruit that ripens at the exact moment it's meant to be eaten, God's blessings come when they are sweetest, strongest, and ready to nourish you without spoiling under premature pressure. So, while you wait, trust the process. God is not withholding to frustrate you. He is preparing to deliver something so well-timed that no one will be able to deny His hand was on it. And when it comes, it will not just fit your life. It will complete it in a way you could never have scripted on your own. The blessing you've been waiting for will arrive like it belongs, and you'll see why the delay was part of the beauty all along. If it left, it was never meant to stay. If God blocked it, it would have broken you. If you lost it, you will recover more than you had before. Heaven's mathematics is different from man's. God never subtracts without planning to multiply. Every closed door is a shield, every rejection is a redirection, and every loss is a setup for a double portion. What you thought was the end was simply the turning of a page in a much greater story. Chosen one, you are not behind, you are not forgotten, you are not disqualified, you are exactly where God needs you to be for what He is preparing to give you. Your current season is not punishment, it's positioning. This is divine preparation for something so great, so life-changing, that when it finally arrives, you will laugh at how much you once worried. The very things that made you question God will become the proof of His perfect timing. And when the better arrives, bigger, greater, overflowing, you will look back and say, "Now I see why God said I couldn't handle it back then. He was protecting me. He was saving me for something greater than I could imagine." The blessing will not come half-built or incomplete. It will arrive whole, mature, and unshakable. The kind you won't have to force to fit into your life because it will fit perfectly by divine design. So hold on. Dry your tears, strengthen your heart, and refuse to give up now. The better is not just coming, it's already in motion toward you. And when it finally reaches your hands, it will be worth every single no, every single delay, and every single heartbreak. You will stand in awe of how God turned every loss into gain and every setback into a platform for greater glory.